What's up, buddy?
What's it, Jason, John? How are you guys,
Man,
man?
Great.
it's great to see you.
It's good to see you guys too.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. I've wanted you on the show, back on the show for a long time. Well, just in general, it's just great to talk to you, whatever the
You
occasion.
are
But
one of our all-time most favorite people.
yeah,
Oh, you guys are too nice, man. I've been looking I feel like we keep trying to, we've been like ships in the night. We just keep missing each other, but I'm glad I'm finally back on.
Yeah, I think John's done dying for this year, so
I maybe there's still time to die.
it's very inconvenient for me. Die
That's right.
next
I
year.
remember. I do recall that happening now. That's right. You know
Mhm.
what's funny? I thought when I didn't when that happened to John, I thought he was like going through like I thought he was just like going through like a tough time. Like I thought he was sad. So I sent him a DM. I was like, "Hey man, if you ever need to talk, just reach out." And then I was like, "Oh, he's in the hospital."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
John's so emo, he goes to the fucking hospital whenever he gets bad off.
I was like, I just can't.
Keep my heart beating.
I just I can't stay awake because my oxygen is too low. Thank you. It is fun though. The hospital is a good time because
It's kind of nice, right? The hospital. It's like
yeah,
you feel like a king when you're in the hospital. Honestly.
yeah. The only part I don't, I mean, maybe this is nitpicking, is when they wake you up at 3 a.m. and stick a needle in your
Mhm.
eyeball, but or whatever, wherever it is. But it is
The old
good.
dick hole.
Yeah. And I've said this before on here, but like it's always fun to confuse the people, like the nurses, with what's on television. Because I was going through like BET and watching like the most like sitcoms from the 90s, black sitcoms from the 90s, and then turning it to like Impractical Jokers or something like that, just to really mess
These are
people.
not irregular watching habits for him, no matter what the fuck he says.
I'm not a big Impractical Jokers fan, but it was a good time to, you know, these are people that are caring for you. I have to care back for
I
them.
think you
Yes.
rewatched all of Fresh Prince in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, that's just a good time. Yeah, I
What
wasn't.
have you been watching on TV, Nick?
You know we don't have you know what, we got cable for 1 week. Because that's the life that we're living, is like we'll get like YouTube TV if there's something we really want to watch. Other than that, we watch like Pluto TV, which
Oh,
if you
Pluto
guys don't,
rules.
Pluto TV, like the 70s movie channel on Pluto TV, they have better movies than anything that you pay for.
absolutely.
It's just a
Yeah.
lineup.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily need to see Fall Guy. You know.
I want to watch the original Fall
Yeah,
Guy, which you can watch
I
on
want to
Pluto
see
TV.
Lee Majors Fall Guy, not whoever.
Heather
I mean,
Thomas.
yeah.
Oh,
But I
And
mean,
I
I'm sure it's fine.
I saw one on Pluto that I hadn't seen in a while, but it's so good. I saw this movie called The Stuntman. Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't think so.
The Stuntman, it's about this guy. I want to say he's like a Vietnam vet. He's like crazy or something. He's on the run from the cops,
Hmm.
and I forget what he does. He like robs a store or something, but he's on the run from the cops. And there's a film crew filming like a World War II movie nearby. And so he escapes onto the film set, and the director, he begs the director to like hide him from the cops, and the director's like, "All right, yeah, I'll protect you from the cops, but my stuntman just quit. So I'll protect you if you do all of the stunts in this movie." And like the stunts are like, these are stunts that like nobody else would do. So like the director's like trying to kill him basically to make his movie look awesome. It's really good.
That was a there was a Bill Hicks bit like back in the day where he was talking about like putting terminally ill people in
In
stunts.
Chuck Norris movies.
Yeah. So like that that kind of ties in with that. That
dude,
actually
Barbara Hershey's in that movie.
oh, Barbara
Oh,
Hershey.
It's not
yes,
going to mean a lot to a
she
lot
was
of. Oh,
great.
Peter O'Toole's in that fucking movie.
He's the director. Peter O'Toole
Oh,
he's
Is
amazing.
is Steve Railsback the main guy? Because I've seen him
Yeah.
in stuff like in the early '80s.
You know what's funny? I don't. Sorry, hey, I'm such a movie dork. I don't want to turn this into a movie podcast.
no, I love movies, so
No,
let's
no, no,
go.
no. You're not. This is just us. It does. Fucking James Avery's in it.
Oh my
Uncle
God.
Phil himself.
It all comes back to first.
Jesus Christ.
I don't like Steve Railsback. He played Manson in something, I think on like a made for TV movie, but
Sorry about
he's good in The Stuntman, but I've seen him in so many movies where it's like, because he kind of looks like Tommy Lee Jones. So
Yeah.
like it does this weird thing in my brain. He's in this movie called Life Force, this Toby Hooper movie, and
You,
I keep
the fuck
every
I know Life Force with
Life Force.
the
It's
naked lady
crazy.
scene
Yes,
with the fucking like big worm thing because she's afraid of like intimate contact.
Wait, Is Sam Neill in
Oh
that?
no, wait, Life Force is the vampire movie. Never mind. I'm
Life Force
sorry.
is the space
I'm sorry,
vampire
Space
movie,
Vampire.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then it's
Also
like a
Naked
zombie
Lady
movie at
movie.
the end. But
Yes.
he can't act worth like he can't do emotional scenes, and like that movie requires a lot of him like being like in love, and you just don't really buy it from him. But like yeah, he's good. He's good in certain movies. He's not my favorite guy though.
I've somehow not seen this. It even had the dude who played Lutz in fucking Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is fucking wild.
I'm gonna have to
Bill
watch
loves
this
that
movie
movie.
now.
Yeah, dude. Wasn't he in like a couple of Jeff Speakman movies, like later on as the bad guy?
Jeff Speakman.
Dude,
Who's
fucking
pulling that
Perfect
out?
Weapon, Jeff Speakman.
Yeah.
Railsback?
Yeah, I thought he was the bad guy in one of the Jeff Speakman movies. I may
He
be wrong.
might be. It's he like fades into the background for me, like when I remember, like, like I know who he is now, but I had seen so many movies with him. Like I forgot he was in Life Force and he's like the main character.
Dude, fucking Alex Rocco's in that movie.
Oh, Alex
Fucking Mo
Mo
Green.
Green with the bullet in the eye. Um, dude, 70s cinema is it's so like it's so crazy how it kind of dropped off. I mean, I don't know, the 80s cinema kind of went more. I don't know if Charles Bronson had an influence on that in the late 70s, but like it went to the action machismo type thing. But the 70s cinema is wild, dude. There's so like they weren't afraid of shit in the 70s, man.
Hell no.
Um, and like it's fun to kind of go back and catch some of this stuff later on. Like now, you're like, that would never not even that it's like controversial stuff, but it's just the realism, I guess, of some of the stuff is would never fly these days.
Well,
Like,
the thing, it's real. I think what's interesting about 70s cinema is they do go places that we would never go now. And there is this, like, I always think, and I guess what I'll also say is like they're just the attitude was never, there's less of an agenda in 70s movies, even
mhm.
if they are movies that like address social issues, there's not necessarily like one angle. They seem to just be looking at things just as they were. Like I was rewatching The French Connection, which is like incredible.
Yeah, it's
And
an
it, and
amazing
it and
movie.
it's sort of an indictment a little bit of like, like the extreme tactics that like law enforcement will go to just for
Hmm.
like to Popeye catching this guy is a more of a game than anything. But
Yeah.
it's like when you listen to William Friedkin talk about it, he's like, I wasn't trying to make an anti-cop movie. He was like, I worked with the NYPD. I liked them. Like this was not a movie to smear them. This is just what I observed. And I think I miss that in filmmaking. I miss people just kind of like not making a movie uh,
They don't
with a
spoon feed you the storyline or the narrative. Like it's like
yes.
you decide morally where you stand on something. And filmmakers would take their time. It didn't have to be like, all right, we're gonna hit these points, these points. Like there's scenes, some of the best cinematography ever is in these 70s movies where they take long shots and
Yeah, but
they draw out the suspense or the whatever.
and that was part of building the totality of everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Like you got to see, the warts and all. It was cool. And William Friedkin has some of the best interviews fucking ever.
Yeah.
Talking shit about
It's
people.
the best.
I
It's
recently
awesome.
rediscovered some of the shit he was talking about Al Pacino.
Yes, I was about to say.
Yeah.
But maybe my favorite one ever, and it is a goddamn stand-up comedy routine, is where he's talking about The Hunted with Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio del Toro.
Oh yeah.
Where he's talking about Tommy Lee Jones comes in and he's just an old pro and he tells the guy who's the set uh director, he's like, okay, I want you to put a block here, here, here. I'm gonna come here, but do this, that, and I'm out. Then Benicio del Toro wants to know what this guy happened to when he was hunting when he was 12 years old, all this other shit, blah, 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 blah. So William Friedkin goes, oh, that's great. And he went home and wrote a 300-page novel about this guy. And he comes back the next day and William Friedkin takes him up and goes, with the set director goes, I want you to put a block here, 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 here. I'm gonna go over here. You're gonna say this or it's a fucking. I love the William Friedkin videos.
He hated Al Pacino too, man.
I think he
It-
had a good reason at that point because he wasn't dealing with the early Pacino anymore.
yes,
Pacino was
that's
a
like
little full of
1980, I
himself.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's that one quote? Somebody asked him about like because I guess Pacino's made comments about like cruising. Somebody brought it up to Friedkin and they said, what do you have to say about what Al Pacino says he still feels like he didn't really know this character, something like that. And William Freaking just goes, I don't give a flying
Lying
fuck
fuck about
through a rolling
that's
donut what Al
yes.
Pacino thinks.
Oh god
Man.
damn.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, that's classic. You don't. People would be thrown out of the business for that these days. And
Oh yeah, you can't speak I mean, unless you're Paul Schrader posting a Facebook status, like you can't talk shit anymore at
yeah,
all. And it used to be like directors used to just talk shit about each other. Like it was like part of like there was sport in it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well, it was a working class profession for a long time. I mean, these guys were not, maybe some of the guys are super glamorous dudes, but they were in there all sweating and putting in the work. And,
Oh yeah.
it was next to construction with, the amount of effort they had to put in there.
And then they talk. I mean, the artistry too. They cared about what they were doing,
It was a
and
craft. Yeah.
yeah, and it was almost an offense if somebody didn't care that much as they did. And
Yeah.
even like talking to like Lloyd Kaufman. And I know trauma is like its own thing, but like he he's so old school, and he really comes from that mindset where he's still not afraid to talk shit about somebody. It's
Yeah.
pretty great. And
I love that.
yeah, he's but he still cares about the art of it, even though people would, that's subjective, obviously. But um, did you ever see Bug, the William
The
Friedkin?
yeah, with Michael Shannon and
Yeah.
Ashley Judd. Yeah.
Ashley Judd. That's right. Oh, Ashley Jugs, dude.
Hell yeah.
What did you think about
He
that movie?
I
What,
like Bug. Bug was like Bug was the one of those first movies where like because they're not on drugs in Bug. Like he's just paranoid. And
right.
and he brings her into his paranoia, but it's also such an accurate depiction of like amphetamine psychosis or
And
like
women.
being on too much
100%.
She
psychedelic.
came in there like, I can change him.
And
We've I've been in so many, the genders are swapped, but I've been in so many
Right.
relationships
Yeah.
where I'm like,
well,
yeah, I'll help you put tinfoil on the windows. Sure, no, if this is
Fuck
real for
yeah.
you, you know.
Sure, sweetie.
it's under our skin. But there's also that I don't know if you remember, there was this sort of weird epidemic of Morgellons disease. Do you guys remember that? It was this thing where people thought they had fibers growing under their skin,
Hmm.
and they would like pull their skin off and pull all these fibers out, and like doctors and scientists and everybody, they're like
And
this.
it was actually wires because we're all Westworlds now.
No, they were from like material on their couches. They always
Mhm.
matched, but these people were convinced that they had these fibers growing
Yeah.
under the skin. And
Non-endogenous fibers.
but even that, these people didn't seem to be on drugs. They were just got it into their mind that
They
this
got
was happening.
nutso.
Yeah, they got nuts. So that's I don't really want to use
Clinical
clinical
term,
terms
yeah.
on here, but uh what do you speaking of movies, I is this weird?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Earlier, okay, so I was walking outside and my neighbors had their door open. They had a glass door, and they had something pretty good on TV, and I was kind of watching it and like just kind of hanging. Is that weird, or
No, dude.
you
I
got
used we used to have a clear view of the apartment across from us used to have a huge like a TV bigger than ours, and everybody watches shit with subtitles on. And
yeah.
I like I after a while I didn't even realize it was just like watching movies like on this person's TV. Like I would just like look over and be like, oh, Fast and Furious 3 is on
It's
across the street. You know, like
yeah, why not share, man? It's right there for us.
Well, I didn't know Tyrese went away at the end of this one.
How
It's education. Look
how
who's back. It's Dom.
how long is too long to linger in the street while you're watching?
I think it
I
depends
mean,
on the amount of nudity.
just go up and knock, man. Be like, yo, dude, your TV is sick. Let me in there, man.
Yeah.
Let's get to know each other.
Two fellas look
I-
like us, shouldn't be a problem. We're not here to rob and or kill you and the other things.
We just got back from the Capitol,
Yeah.
January 6th.
Yeah.
We're on a high right now. We're friendlies.
Speaking of television, your buddy was on Jeopardy, and we were following along.
Oh, dude, Isaac, man. How
Isaac.
good did he do, man?
It was
Like,
amazing. I like
Isaac the Slayer.
yes, dude. I was like I like Jeopardy, and I usually get invested in the winners, but like then I was like, all right, I don't know if I can send these messages to the other players. Like, I mean, I know it's already taped and everything, but I was thinking about sending some threatening messages to these his opponents.
Like,
Just
leave Hirsch alone, man. Let him. Here's the thing I'll say about Isaac, and I am convinced, and obviously he won enough that he'll go to the Tournament of Champions.
mhm.
I got to be careful what I say because this is all like,
Yeah.
But
we don't get some Jeopardy police up in here.
well, this is not anything. This is just me. This is not anything that like has it. This is just what I think. I literally, and I said this to him, there is no Jeopardy contestant that I can think of next to maybe like Ken Jennings who was as good on TV as he was.
No.
He was fun. Like he was getting laughs on Jeopardy.
Oh yeah.
He's so funny. He's natural and he's smart. Like there's no all the other Jeopardy contestants, even if like I don't know who eventually beat him, and I think they only beat him because like he messed up the math. Like he made a mathematical error that put him below the top amount of points.
I just got the feeling he wanted to go home.
Well, no, because this I think I can tell you is like I think he only shot for like 3 days because they film him back to back.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of jackets,
dude. Isaac's girlfriend, Victoria, who's she's the sweetest woman you've ever met. I mean, she's like one of my favorite people. She drew like they've put together like a really nice like style catalog for Isaac. Like it's all vintage. It's all like he looks like the coolest dude from 1976.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a beautiful thing to see somebody meet the right person and they just like they mold that like you ever see it like it's never happened for me. I'm so stubborn in what I'll wear, but like sometimes you just need a woman to like tweak a little bit, just be like, here, like this is what you need to wear.
I need a lot of that. It's more than tweaking for me, but yeah.
We need a harem. John needs Jason. No,
John needs a harem of gay men to fix him.
Whatever it takes, man.
And that's okay. No, actually, you're very fashion forward when you're not on a podcast.
Yeah.
You look one of the Oak Ridge boys and Wolfman Jack right now, but that's by design.
Well,
I mean, it's just honestly a sick look. I love seeing the two of you guys there together. I'm like, it's cohesive. Like, it's like, I remember when I saw you guys, when we went to Gillian Keeves live, I recognized you because you were a unit together. I was like, it's the trash.
It's the salt and pepper shakers of idiocy.
Yes, dude.
I'm salt. I don't want to be pepper. I'm just
and for those at home who are wondering,
no.
Nick is actually more handsome than he is on screen in person, which we didn't think it was fucking possible.
Yeah, actually, since he hasn't been on here and we were missing each other, I put some misconnections up for Nick.
You put some misconnections?
Yeah,
that's not up anymore. I don't know how the fuck you did that.
I started my own.
You hallucinated in the hospital.
I started my own
big magazines.
No, a mail Craigslist, not mail in the mail, also mail. Wait, I don't know what's happening, but yeah. It's my own. It was just I was just putting on random corners, just hoping it would happen.
You'll have to forgive John. He was on a conference call last night and he got a little big time.
Let me ask you a question.
Wait, really?
No.
We were on a conference call last night.
It wasn't a conference.
We were on a fucking conference call.
No, but you got big time. This is what I get interested for.
It's not big. So we're doing this other project that it's more of an internet type show, not a podcast.
Gotcha.
And we were talking to somebody about filming something.
A segment,
right? And all it was a speakerphone, and both of us were talking to him.
That's 3 people.
We were going to Zoom with them.
That's a conference call.
Whatever.
It's a conference call.
So you turned it into like I said earlier, like we're at Berkshire Hathaway. Like we're a couple of fucking dickheads.
I maintain that is true.
And the whole time he's going, sorry, excuse me, Jason. Every time he talks,
Jason's on Trash Podcast. That's what you say, so they know who's talking on the other side.
But he already knew.
I introduced myself, but I said it every time because that's what you do as a professional.
And then you said,
Jason's on Trash Podcast.
Jason's on.
What if we come in to your place dressed in armor? Jason's on Trash Podcast.
It was every sentence.
Wait. You said it every time. You said like what?
Almost every time. I missed a couple.
This was just
I
a
missed a couple,
call.
but I got most of them.
Nobody heard it other than 3 people.
Yeah.
And he just continued to
conference call because I know fucking business.
It wasn't it was just a anyway. You don't do that after every sentence.
What you do?
And it wasn't a conference call.
I did it.
But anyway, John Hunter Trash.
No conference call.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know where we're going with that.
I'll tell you what, it's
I want to
great.
know how you got big timed. Wait, are you saying you got big timed by
No, he didn't get big
Jason?
time. He just decided he was going to big time this guy.
I didn't big time this guy. This guy was doing it by the end of the end of the call.
Yeah, he started doing it. Maybe
he
he
started
big
doing it.
timed us.
He big timed us. That's what I'm saying. He big timed us.
Right.
Yeah,
Fuck him,
because
man.
we didn't both do it. We weren't a united front. We got big timed.
Maybe I should get him on the phone right now during this, and we
I would
got
love to
him.
know who it is, man. I'm like, because I can tell you're not saying his name on purpose.
No, it's not a. It's he's not a comic or anybody.
Oh,
The public.
All right,
But he
well,
does own a comic store.
He owns a comic book store. It's for a segment. Yeah.
so if nobody, how is this guy gonna big time you if nobody even knows who he is?
Exactly, John. Why'd you let him do it?
No, he big timed you.
He big timed you. I did my part.
Fuck that guy. Fuck
Yeah,
all
see, there
this.
you go.
I'm just kidding.
You can do better next time. You're doing great.
No, he's cool, man. I have to say that for legal purposes,
Dude.
because we got big time. And you look like you were such an idiot. You look so stupid
At
during
least,
it. No
at least
offense.
I was. Yeah, I'm not thinking.
No offense.
I did my part.
You look so stupid during it though.
Jason's Odd Trash Podcast. You look stupid.
Hey, you wrote a movie, right?
I did. It came out.
Yeah,
I haven't. I'm not good about like promoting.
Why don't we promote it
yes.
for you?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I saw the trailer for it and I haven't watched it yet, but I want to see it.
Sure. It's on. It's called Me, Myself, and the Void. It's on. I think you can rent it on like Amazon, Apple TV, like literally like YouTube. It's everywhere. They did a little write up in the New York Times. It's
Sweet.
Yeah. We did like a Reddit AMA for it and everything. It was But you know what's funny? I made it at this point. I made it so long ago because it took so long for it to come out. That like there's this interesting like thing happens where like the production company set up a Reddit AMA for me to like talk with and like answer questions about the movie and stuff. And people would ask questions and I would like literally be struggling to remember. They're like, how did you come up with the idea for such and such? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I completely forgot. Just watch the movie, you know, like luckily my co-writer, Tim, is like he's so professional. He's like he is truly the one where it's like he kind of like brought me in and like taught me like if he's got experience. He also directed it. Tim Hadke, great director.
Nice. What up, Tim?
He brought me in and he was like, all right, this is how you write a movie. He took like I feel like we both had a lot of good ideas. I'm definitely not as disciplined in like the structure of writing a film. And he was like, you have good ideas, but we're gonna like buckle down and actually do this the real way. So yeah, man, it was a fun experience. We got to work with some really funny guys. Kelly Marie Tran is in the movie. She was
No shit.
yeah, being on set and like watching
awesome.
her act was like amazing. Like watch it. Like anytime I see somebody who's able to just like cry like on command, I'm like, how the fuck, dude? Like, how do you have that ability?
Yeah, I always wondered, like, because I've seen a lot of women do that to me. The fake cry.
You ain't got no human insides.
Oh,
And-
that's brutal when a woman fake cries but no tears come out.
Yeah, I really am sorry. That whole
Especially
thing,
when she's using Visine.
yeah.
Because what do? You can't call her. You have to like play along and act like she's actually upset. Because like here's like no matter even if you call her out, it's not like she's not gonna drop the act.
No, you can't be right.
And
You're
then
locked in.
And it's the story becomes, he's such an asshole. I was crying, and he told me I was faking. That's the end story. Like history is written by the winners, and they win.
Yeah,
And
it's emotional abuse, basically. You're
Right.
gaslighting me into thinking that I'm not crying.
Right. But when somebody can actually do that and like tap into something real like that is it's amazing. I don't know how they do it. Like you said, I don't have emotions, and I've only seen people cry in real life. And
When you're stabbing,
when it happens, yeah. Well, stabbing meat's a joyous thing in the grocery store. No, that's amazing.
yeah, dude, that's fantastic.
Well, it was interesting, like being on that set because then I acted in a movie this over the summer with Robbie that is being edited right now called Sharp End of a Buck Knife. That's more
Fuck
like
yeah.
it's like a police procedural, but it's like an episode of Cops where it's not my movie, so maybe this pitch is doing a disservice, but imagine an episode of Cops where like Jason showed up is like essentially sort of how the movie goes.
Mm.
And I had like some like decent like a couple really emotional scenes, and it's the first time where I like understood, oh yeah, if you like you have to like psych yourself up to like feel a certain way, and then it's a little hard to like get out of it. Because I would see that with her where like after she would do an emotional scene in our movie, there was like a little period where it's like, okay, she's like she's actually like dealing with these emotions. And then she would be normal, and then she'd be like, eating lunch with the cast and everything. But it was interesting. And then yeah, I thought about that when I acted again this summer. Like I tried to like I was like, I guess you're really supposed to like put yourself there. It's acting is so crazy. And like I'm in awe of people who do it, who like actually do it. And then every time I do it, I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just trying to like copy.
Well,
I
it
think
seems
that's anybody though. I mean, honestly, you're playing like the most extreme game of pretend.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
and it has to look a certain way for the camera. Like you
right.
can do something that probably looks great in person, but in front of the camera, it may look completely different, the shot and everything.
I have limited looks. I got hungry, angry. I ain't sure about that third one. It's something.
That's why I don't want to say you've been typecast, but you have that role of hungry, angry guy.
It's what my mom
Hungry,
tells.
hungry. You, my favorite role you ever did was hungry, angry insurrectionist.
Hungry, angry hippos.
Oh yeah.
It's coming out this summer, by the way.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Um, yeah, dude, I can't imagine the emotional toll some of that would like take on you. When
Yeah.
you're having to do that for 7 or 8 hours a day, some people.
Yeah, I've been on those actual police calls. I've never been on one with Jason, but
Yeah.
I,
Oh
I
man,
get
dude,
that.
it was fun because like we had to like we were trying to make it look we probably could have used you on set, but like we had to like
Dude,
we
you
made sure
got
we
my
like
number. You can call me anytime. It
next time
doesn't
I'll
matter.
call you next time and ask you about how to make it look. But like we had radios on, we had to like talk on radios, we had the big like mag light flashlights, we had to like section stuff off with the tape. We had to what is it called? The way you hold the gun, is it called like
The
T-frame?
can't.
The can't, yeah, like you've got one, your palm is on the like the bottom, and I call it the
Yeah,
bottom.
you marry the grip.
Yeah, you married the
Yeah,
girl, right?
yeah,
That's all right. I was
yeah.
like that stuff was actually kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Like running like that. Like I was like, this is fucking cool, man.
Dude,
Maybe.
I don't need to be on sets like that because if I see somebody hold if they're right-handed and they're holding their light with their right hand, I will come and smack it right out of your hand.
You might have smacked Robbie a couple times.
I was like, you
I
motherfucker.
even did. I got a little. I took
Did you learn your
some.
cross? Did you learn your flashlight cross?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I learned it from playing Resident Evil 2.
It's like,
Um,
dude, Destiny and Resident Evil 2 games like that are excellent resources for learning to get that. Like just thinking about it all the time.
Yeah, yeah, it's really like there's a scene where I get to yell at somebody like with the flashlight and the gun pointed at them, and it's
Yep.
like this is fucking great, dude. I'm gonna become a cop. I'm gonna start beating up,
Everybody.
Dude,
everybody,
if
dude.
you get your wrists locked in, honestly, to where you have the light automatically pointing at the end of where your barrel is, like the same direction,
Yes,
like, and you start feeling it, it's pretty good. It's pretty fun.
it was like yeah, I got very addicted to holding that gun and that flashlight like that, and then we did upset. We were out in like it was a crazy shoot, man. We were in Charlottesville, like we were shooting on this like in Virginia,
Mhm.
Yeah.
on this huge like 100-acre property.
Mhm.
And we were all
You
sleeping.
lit it with tiki torches and some bad shit went down.
Oh yeah, dude. It was not good. Well, and we were sleeping on there's a big cabin. We were all like living in the cabin, also using it for the shoot. But like nothing happens out there. Also, it was 101 degrees like every day, and it
Ooh.
was so hot and so humid. With humidity, it was more than 100. It was so hot and so humid that on like the second day, the digital cameras like fried from the inside
Damn.
out.
Did you have to
Like
wear polyester uniforms?
no, we
Okay.
just well, I don't know if they were polyester. I don't think they were.
Those fucking things are the worst thing ever invented for like any hot months. They're terrible.
It was
Hate
just we
those
just
fucking
had
things.
regular like blue I don't think they were. Maybe they were.
They're like these polyester blend are what most, at least back in my day, you'd have to wear, and like it was just fucking misery. Especially you had a vest and all your other kit and gear on.
Dude,
It was it was a lot of
I can
fun.
only imagine if we were like because I bet we still only had like a third of the proper like accoutrement. What do you? I
Yeah,
don't know what you like.
accoutrement is definitely a police word.
You get
You
arrested
said it
around
though.
here for saying
I
that.
tried to get away with saying I definitely said accoutrements, and then
Yeah.
It's the
you did the
same.
Yeah.
correct French pronunciation.
Same,
But
same.
it was yeah, it was great. Wearing all that shit was great, and I got to take it off, between takes. I couldn't imagine, pulling like a full police shift in that stuff in that weather.
Yeah. You get grateful for some things real fast, like air conditioning.
Oh
Like
yeah,
no one ever turns the air conditioning in their car off less, it's Arctic all the time.
Did you
For
definitely.
you ever get to like a point where it was really hot and you got in front of like some air conditioning and did like
the
Mi-
Universal Soldier,
the Michael Jackson like where you
we did a lot of embarrassing things.
that's what I in my mind that's what you guys are doing.
I had a friend of
And
mine who
that's why you
I
have to
caught
back the blue,
I
right?
caught doing the Universal Soldier in the commissary room of the back of the jail one day on patrol. He had pulled his car in there and he'd secured his weapon and everything. He came into the jail, but he goes into like this commissary hall where they just store shit they sell to inmates, right? There's this
Right.
big fucking vent back there. And I walk in there because I was looking for him. I was like, hey, I don't even remember because I was so fucking shocked by this. I walk in there, he has his shirt open, his vest, all the Velcro's off of it, and he's holding it up like the front of a turtle shell, like that. His pants and underwear are down around his ankles, and his like
Oh
dick and
my
balls and
God.
ass are out. And he's just letting it all go up his Fremunda area. And I mean,
You gotta take
he's
care
like,
of the
he's like, I thought I was gonna pass out. I was like, well, I think I'm about to fucking pass out. That's fucked up.
Is that what they call a subpoena?
That's
Subpoena?
it wasn't that
subpoena. Yeah,
it wasn't that
nice.
impressive. He was white.
Not much. Look, if you
It was Troy.
oh, I don't if you guys, I know you said you'd be glad to consult if they ever need anything.
I'm happy.
But if you guys need a serial public masturbator, any kind of consultant there, I'm your man on that.
Yes.
I mean, I'll walk you right through it, guys. It's not a problem.
Yeah,
I'm not walking
the
in
opposite
front
of
of
an
or
intimacy
behind you.
coach on set. You just have a real guy jacking off the whole time.
Yeah.
Take a gander at him. We'll give you an idea of what you want.
Yeah, I'll be like, he seems like he's into it, but he doesn't seem as desperate as he needs to be.
Yeah, someone looks over and it's like, what do you think? It's like, let's do it again.
And back. Look, let me show you how to do this. Look, it's public. It's just better,
Oh,
You
absolutely.
do that all in your private time, but public's exciting. That's
It is
where the
exciting.
masturbation sweet spot.
Exhibitionism.
Yeah.
I see how people go down that rabbit hole. I see how if you you know if you even like break the surface on that thing, I'm like, I see how it just like consumes your life. How like before you know it, you're like fucking a lady in an elevator
Yeah.
between floors.
I don't think you can go back from that. I don't think
No.
you gotta break up with that person and just start over with somebody else if that's gonna be the case. Because
If you're into exhibitionism, like regular no condom sex is like having an O'Doul's. You know what I mean? It's like it's not even.
yeah. I mean, next thing you know, you're in like an eyes wide shut situation. The
Yeah, see,
mask.
the thing that really like this is where like, and this is real. I'm like, I see how people like get to. I see how like if you have access to like if you just like burn out on crazy sex, if you have like access to like models and stuff, I'm like, yeah, I see how you get to like Epstein level. Like if you're and not, I'm not. Let me clarify. I'm not saying like
Go ahead.
Walk that one back a little bit.
You come to the right meeting.
I'm not saying I'm not saying I understand and empathize. I'm just like, yeah, if you have to keep topping the thrill, you're gonna be on an island drinking adrenochrome somewhere.
Yeah.
Should your wallet, permit such expenses. But yeah.
I don't know what that's the cocaine. What's the crack version of that?
Of adrenochrome?
No, where you're on the island, like if you get addicted, like you have to up the ante, but you can't afford.
Can't afford it.
Yeah,
I think you probably start having sex with animals.
Oh, yeah,
that's the poor
Yeah.
like the poor pervert turns to zoophilia. It's the children are a rich man's game.
Yeah,
You're exactly
they're
right.
fast. That's fast moving. Yeah, I was thinking like Miami Beach retirement communities. That might be the way to go.
What do you
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Just
get them old.
oh, You know,
My friend, I won't say his name. I had a friend who like he was dating a girl and they went to like a nudist. This is when I was still in California. They went to like a nudist retreat, like nudist colony. They were like all excited, and then it's like everybody there's like 65 and up.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I've heard.
yeah, a lot of saggy balls and which there's something for everybody out there.
Everybody's got a pick.
And to believe that he went on to win Jeopardy all those times.
Who knew?
It must be nice to like fuck as an old person because like you don't have to close your eyes and think of your grandma to not come. You just have to like look at your wife.
Yeah.
You have to look at your own cock and balls as they go in.
Well, see, I have a theory called my grade, where it's like whatever age you are in life is like, oh, this person's in my grade. Like it's okay. Like that's not unattractive to you.
Right. Oh,
So
interesting.
you're
I
25.
bet you reach a point though.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
certainly a point, and it's somewhere around 40. But yeah, it's like you're like, I don't want anybody in my grade anymore. It's my grade fucking
Like
sucks, dude.
I definitely have it like when I look at like girls now who are like 23, I always underestimate I'll meet a girl and I'll assume she's in high school and it's like, oh, she's 26 years old and like it's like I
Yeah.
just don't, it's not like my eyes have adjusted to my grade. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and also women are getting dumber, so
well, I'm not asking to see your report card.
yeah. I'll sign it, but I don't like it.
I just want to see
I'm
her
requesting a
learner's
conference.
I just need to see her learner's permit, guys. That's all I need.
You sure she's of age? Yeah, she said she was this many.
Yeah,
Yeah, she can almost
showed
drive
me-
without another adult.
you just have her learner's permit and a signed letter from her parents on
Yeah.
hand all the time.
Yeah, it's like a field trip.
Yeah.
You pull over by a cop, you don't say anything, you just fucking sovereign citizen with a note on the fucking window.
No, Your Honor, that it wasn't my dick. It was I am merely the person in possession of my cock.
This is a legal dick.
Yeah.
My
It
legal
wasn't-
dick is
Yeah, I'm the representative of my cock, but this is not my cock. Yeah.
my cock is owed $52,000 of my person by the government.
I'll just say, I'd be like, I was born on February 29th, and my dick's only 7.
Yeah, this government identity does not reflect my cock's accurate age.
The
dick's nice.
one pedophile who's born on a leap year must feel like he hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
Like, well,
He's he uses it too. He's got to use it.
Oh, definitely.
How old am I? 8, 9.
You gotta
He's
like I've
Is that what I don't know?
caught and convicted and put away a lot of pedophiles. But one thing I never asked any of
Ooh,
Yeah.
sorry.
one thing I never asked any of them was I never asked them what their favorite music was. And I feel like I always wasted an opportunity with that.
Oh,
What do you think of pedophiles best?
I don't know. I don't think I'm prepared to hear the answer because if they say ALO, I'm just gonna fucking lose it.
Electric Light Orchestra?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Kids Bop. Just off the top of my head.
I love you.
Ew. Yeah,
Like-
they're like, have you heard of Barney?
I was like,
I'm always blown away when like for this is like maybe this is too weird or not like whenever somebody who's like a monster like a pedophile or like a serial killer has like thought, I don't expect them to have like favorite music. Like I don't expect it, like I think I would be really surprised, like but also why can't it be true if a pedophile had said something like, yeah, I like I like New Order. I like the
Yeah.
Earl Gal. It's like, oh fuck, you're a complex human being also.
I
That's
like
not
Blue
allowed.
Monday. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hey guys, you like Joy Division?
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, what am I,
There's
fag?
two things
I'm
I
a
love: Joy
pedophile,
Division
not a
Yeah,
fag.
and
Jesus
children.
Christ, yeah.
Joy Division and children.
I actually had a conversation with a dude who was, he's pretty much serial killer.
Whoa.
About music one night. I was just sitting in the same pod as he was when I worked at the jail when I first started all this shit.
Just
And we talked about fucking like good country music and like bad 90s country, like the fun country rock era.
Oh
For probably about like
the
45
pop country.
minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'll talk to a fucking serial killer about music in the back of a jail in the middle of the night. I've had less interesting conversations.
I guess like with those, I don't know, I'm no pathologist, but I'm like, I guess like anything, though he's not in a position where, I mean, maybe he could kill you, but obviously, like, they were like, maybe if he was like Hannibal Lecter, he could have fucking like cut your face off and escaped the cell. But he's
Mm,
obviously in a position where he can't kill you, even if the urge is there. So I guess he just like what, like compartmentalizes that and like relates to you like a normal dude, right?
With
Like
him,
that's
with that guy and his pathology, we didn't have any conflict. Like
interesting.
there was nothing there with us conflicting. I mean, I was there to do a job. I was in the position of authority and caretaking, whatever. But he was a very intelligent dude. There was another guy who had his pathology was far more physically based, and he was a bigger dude. He had probably killed 3 or 4 different prostitutes, but he got caught for the one he didn't kill. And he rolled her up in a rug and threw her off a fucking bridge after he had stabbed her.
oh,
She lived.
that's pollution. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
So he was trying. He like I was a younger officer at the time, and I was yeah, pretty decent shape at the time.
What year was this?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So this dude, I was a significant power lifter at one point. Anyway, so dude comes in and I've done all this shit. Anyway, he's trying to bribe me to bring cigarettes in. And I said, look, man, I was like, you got to stop this shit. I'm not one of these other hacks. I don't do that shit. I was like, just go back to your room. And he said, it took 3 people to fight me off the last time, or 3 people on one side to fight me off the last time. I was like, well, I happen to know your bad side. I was like, so I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to move to your good side. And I just, very matter of fact, if you fuck with me, I'm going to cripple you kind of thing. And once that was established, he turned into a weeping child. He literally started crying because he couldn't get cigarettes. So he went to his infancy or infantile state the minute his only, because he was dumber than fuck.
Right.
He couldn't intimidate
Hey,
me.
easy with the clinical terms again.
So it's just weird, like you meet people on different levels, and even though that guy was probably far more physically dangerous than the other guy to me was a far more dangerous individual.
Interesting. Those I guess you're right, because he's one of those guys where it's like he's obviously like cunning. He's like just beneath, like anything's possible.
He's
Like,
I'm going to slip a piece of metal, that I've taken from this place, out of my skin and stab you in the neck kind of guy.
oh my god.
Whereas the other guys are going to come at you like a roaring bear.
Well, you got to think like these people have lived in society for however long before they got caught.
Mhm.
So there has to be some level of camouflage there where they're able to suppress some of that stuff. And also they're predatory, so they're not going to go after somebody that's they see as a threat to them. They're going to go after somebody that they can bring. I mean, a lot of that's what power and
well, everybody. It's a great character study, but one of the most dangerous people I ever knew in the back of that jail, as far as that situation, was about 117 pounds, soaking wet. He had glasses that were just like Coke bottle thick. He had been convicted of a double homicide with a shotgun because he was just such a severe alcoholic. He says he never remembers it, and there's no way it happened.
Are you talking about Steve Urkel?
No.
Oh, okay.
Can I do that? He turned into Stephon Urkel, dude.
He was. If you ever seen the movie,
never gotten caught.
He looked like Gary from Bachelor.
Oh yeah.
He looked just like Gary, and it freaked me out. His name was Roy. He was a machinist, like a very good machinist.
Oh.
Christian Bale,
and he would get bored and take the jail apart. And if he liked you, he would come up and give you the shit he had taken apart from the jail. Like he'd just like come drop it on the desk.
That is scary when a guy whom you would think, like, just at a glance you're like, this guy couldn't take me, but it's like but again, he has like, it's the way they get the upper hand on you that is terrifying.
That guy was the one dude I always thought, I was like, if he ever truly wanted to escape, he could do it in a week, like plan it out and be gone in a week.
Wow.
But he thought, he's like, look, I really didn't do this, or at least I don't remember doing this. I didn't do this. I'm going to see it through. And they convicted his ass.
That's I'm amazed that you actually had that job. That's like, that's wild to me.
Very informative, fun, interesting times. Then I got to do the dangerous stuff. That was fun.
dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, going through doors,
Jumping jacks.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
calisthenics.
I kid.
Yeah, we had fun.
The crying guy, the guy who turns into a child, like those are like, I mean, they're all scary in their own way, but I have a visceral gut reaction to like the guys who are like emotionally children, but will skin you alive and fucking, skull fuck you. Like those are the guys
Yeah.
that give me like where I'm like, they give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, he was a walking id in so many. I mean, not id, a walking. Yeah, id
Kid.
in so many different ways. And he had very little charm, guile, but he was strong. I just at the time I happened to be stronger and way better trained.
Yeah, for sure.
So he just lost any like the game was over before a lick was ever made there. It was just like I can't beat this guy, and he can get me what I want, but he won't get me what I want. And then you just saw the tantrum come through, and
He turns into a full brat.
oh, it was so fucking funny.
Well, there's also I think there's a reoccurring thing about um the attention craving aspect of like a lot of serial killers. Like they'll do things to get attention, negative attention, whatever it is. And seeing somebody like throw a tantrum, an adult that's killed people, is probably right on point with their
Yeah.
pathos.
But he also had a
Yeah.
TBI at one point.
Wait, he was what?
He had a TBI when he was younger, a traumatic brain injury,
Oh,
like a severe concussion from a car accident. And he had a scar on the side of his head.
see this, and this is
Yeah.
where I feel there's a version of him that I fucking feel bad for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like every serial killer, if you go back far enough, like in there's a version where you're like this poor kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
There's
raised by
always
his grandmother too, and he was an interesting cat.
Dude, I watched this documentary about serial killers, and this neurologist, or I don't know actually what his title was, but he was studying like frontal lobe damage and the commonality of frontal lobe damage to serial killers. And like the overwhelming majority of these serial killers had some sort of traumatic injury to their frontal lobe when they were children or younger, and put them on a path because that's the part of your brain that stops you from the impulses.
Right.
Impulse control.
Yeah. It stops you. And the one, like there was the degrees of serial killer, the ones that did these things that never tried to cover them up, they realized had the damage was so severe. But the other ones that would mask their trail, it was lesser because obviously they knew they'd done something wrong.
Well, the big dude Robert, after that one encounter, would always treat me like an authority figure and a big brother, which I wasn't exactly. I was like, "Can you go back to trying to kill me? This is really
Yeah, I don't want to be
weird."
like,
Yeah.
like on a.
I'm
You
not
have a
your-
semi-positive.
Yeah, we're not buddies.
Yeah.
And he would come up and he would like draw pictures for me and shit like that. And I was like,
Oh, dude.
yeah.
What
I was
the
like,
fuck?
fuck,
This
dude.
this is like checklist of like creepy serial killer shit. He's
Yeah.
like handing you like crayon drawings of like you and him in like a house with the sun with a face.
Yeah,
Like,
here's just 3 dead bitches under the house.
I did this and
I cleaned them up good for you.
look, this
Oh
one I
my
did blue
God,
because she
dude.
stopped breathing.
Yeah. I just strangled that one.
Did you see that Dahmer documentary where the lead detective he got very close with Dahmer so he could like get
You got it.
yeah, and then after he was convicted, Dahmer kept sending him letters and trying to reach out to him like he thought like this is my best friend. He really thought this detective was,
well, that is the one thing that I'll say because like my girlfriend's always watching she watched like Law and Order, like SVU. We've been binging SVU. It's so good. But like whenever I see these things where like it's exactly that the detective acts like gets on the guy's good side, the serial killer's good side, I do feel I'm a little bit like, fuck, man. He thinks you're his friend. That's sad.
yeah.
I don't know why I identify so much with these guys. Like I don't like.
Let's
it makes
what's
me a
under
little
Nick's
sad.
apartment right now? First homicide I ever had. The lady was not a serial killer. She was just a severe crack addict and severe alcoholic. And I won't go through the whole story, but She just took a liking to
What'd
me.
she look like?
I made sure that
No, I'm just,
she was
mean,
about
she-
4'10",
just my type.
4'9".
Yeah.
She was hunting birds and squirrels. We had one eye going this way, one eye going that way. I
fuck.
never knew which one to look into. She had a severe lisp,
So I could sneak up on her.
and she looked like a troll doll with the hair wet down.
Hell yeah.
She
Oh
was,
my
yeah,
God,
she
dude.
was as pitiful as you could get. And
Is it hot in here?
she went to go collect a crack debt.
Yeah, John is like,
She went to go collect a crack debt with her friend from a crack whore. The crack whore had a guy who thought it was her. He had fallen in love with the crack whore.
As you
They,
do.
yeah.
you must never. You
So-
can't.
You can't fall in love with
So
That's
the-
that's that song, right? In Love with a
Yep.
Crack Whore.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm in love with our crack whore.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So this guy, who was actually just a hardworking dude, he was a widower, he was lonely, had fallen in love with this lady like around the block who happened to be a crack whore. Like kind of professionally, but also held a job. So this lady and him are in the same kind of range. They're older. They hear this knocking on the crack whore's door. The knocking on the crack whore's door. Is that a Guns N' Roses song?
I think that's J. Cole.
It's Dylan. I'm sorry, it's Bob
Yeah.
Dylan.
Knocking on heaven's. Yeah.
Knocking on crack whore's door. Sorry.
Heaven's her name.
Yeah. So dude comes out to like defend, because they're like, we're gonna fuck you up, and it's over like a $35 debt, something like that.
it's
So,
it's
dude-
an overdraft fee.
Yeah, you're overcracked. So they come out, and she had the money and was gonna pay the crack dealer, but the crack dealer was like, run by and get my money since you're gonna be on the way back here. And they took it like, oh yeah, we're gonna fuck this bitch up. They come back, knock on the door, dude comes out. They start like trying to get up on this dude. Well, this dude's like a hardworking, like work strong dude, right? He worked on like,
Right.
farms and mills and shit like that. He starts fucking both these girls up.
That's how you're gonna
And-
say he started fucking both of them.
Well, so
Bold move.
the pygmy ninja takes out her fucking knife and fucking gives him one right in the old ticker. Perfect shot.
Nice.
One and done, and he falls to the ground. That's it.
Hey, look,
And that's what put her away.
Yeah. I got a confession out of her because she took a liking to me. It was my case. I got called out for it, and I actually apprehended her. My partner and I almost shot her. She almost was a fucking candy dish.
Whoa, dude.
She wouldn't fucking like give up at first. She wouldn't show her hands, and we didn't have her or the murder weapon at the time.
Right.
This bitch, got a knife. I ain't fucking going out like homeboy. Last possible second, she shows the hands. So on the way down there, I don't ask her shit because I'm like, it's my first homicide case. I don't want to step on any Sixth Amendment, Fourth Amendment issues, shit like that. I don't want to ask her shit, but we become friends. We talk about anything and everything but fucking murder, police work. We're talking about TV, and this town called Ramseur where she lived, and all this other shit. So at the end, she's like, "You gonna come back and see me?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "You write a request, I'll come back and see you." She's like, "All right." She's like, "I don't write that good. I'm gonna get somebody to write that for me." I said, "Okay." So I went back a couple times to see her. The first time she's like, I thought my lawyer was gonna be here. I was like, "Nah, I don't talk to people with lawyers." I was like, "They just don't like us to do that." I was like, "You want your lawyer? Fine, you can write a request to your lawyer." Again, I wanted to make sure this lady had all of her ducks in a row.
Sure.
And she had her rights. But next time, I knew what happened. I knew the lawyer. He was never going to come down and talk to her. So she got mad as fuck and wrote a request to see me without her lawyer. And then I brought a fucking tape recorder down there, and inside of 30 minutes, she was crying and telling me that she didn't even know she had the knife in her hand.
Man.
And then that was my first homicide confession.
Holy shit, man.
So she
That's
was-
crazy. You are the guy in these. I watch like hours of these videos of like
No, I
like,
mean, just
people
I said
getting
I'm dumb enough to
confession.
keep doing it, man. That's it.
Was she? And she was really small. You said
She was no, she wasn't small.
she was. Oh,
She was short.
how
she
big
was
was
petite.
how big was the knife in her hand?
It was a regular flip out
But did it
knife.
look huge?
It was pretty big. I understand. She was rather rotund.
Yeah.
She was kind of like a weeble. I mean, she would
Oh,
wobble,
man.
but she didn't quite fall down.
Man, you think that crack would have? Well, I don't know. I've seen some.
Yeah,
No,
that-
crack will keep you standing up straight, dude.
Yeah.
Crackle.
Yeah.
That's where I learned my one. I've said this a million times. That's where I learned my one thing rule. When, especially on big cases, people are going to lie to you about at least one thing. Like, There's always minimum one sticking point. If you let them lie to you about that, you can get what you want. This lady would admit to her drinking and driving and all this other shit that night. What she would not admit to doing was smoking crack. She was just so ashamed of it. She admitted to me she killed a motherfucker, stabbed him right in his fucking chest. She would not admit she smoked crack. Guess what? She got that one on me. I did not press her about smoking crack. I had no shit, no less than 15 people tell me they saw her smoking crack all that night. So I really needed to say she was smoking crack.
No.
That
is the thing, man. Drug users, it is like the shame tied in. Like anytime you're an addict, it's like the shame is such a huge part of it.
But it's everything. Anytime it's a major issue, there's one thing, and it's different in every situation. So it can be drug use in this one. It can be something sexual in another.
Affairs or whatnot. Yeah.
One of the dudes, one of the best interviewers I ever saw, was a local dude. He worked with my agency. And he comes in and they just started doing DVDRs. So
was that the double vaginal?
Yeah, DVDAs.
Oh,
wait. What are you talking about?
DVDA, double vaginal, double anal.
I thought that's what you.
Yeah.
What is that? Doing? Wait. What?
That's an old pornographic terminology.
Yeah, the guys from South Park had a band called DVDA.
Yeah.
It was double vaginal,
is it like getting stuffed in?
Yeah, it's the old double stuffer.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
Yeah. So
that's plus like nobody will ever talk to you after that. When you think you're on a team with some guys,
right? Huh? Now that's called DP.
No, DP is just single on each side. So let me clarify. DVDA is two.
The back and the front ends with two.
Crazy.
Yeah, and it's very athletic.
It's very. I don't know how you have room. What kind of? You gotta be. I mean, I don't even want to. I'll draw it out later, but I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't understand how that. Well, we won't get into it. All right, but you got I assume DVDRs is like means just like DVD discs.
DVDRs had just like come out.
Yeah,
and before that was all videotapes, right? So, but a DVDR looked so much more impressive at the time. Like, oh shit, they've used the science, kind of thing. So this dude was this hayseed fuck, and he had killed a dude over. It was a robbery, basically. So the detective goes in there. He says, "Hey man, I get why you killed him. I understand." He's like, hell, I can't say I wouldn't have done that myself, given your situation. Blah blah blah. The guy's got his arms crossed, and he's just being very obstinate. But he hasn't invoked his right to counsel yet, because he's still kind of playing it off as innocent. But he's getting ready to tell him to go fuck himself. And then Chris, the detective, goes, "Well, I understand why you did that to him." And he's like, "And I think you did it after, but I ain't sure." And I goes, "Did what?" He's like, messed with him. He goes, "What are you talking about messed with him?" He goes, he's just implying that he fucked the guy, right?
Right.
And he goes, "What?" And then Chris takes the DVR out and he fucking throws it on the desk in front of the guy. He goes, "Now, if you want to make me go through and look at that again, I'll do it, and I'll do it with you, but I don't really want to see that ever again." And the guy goes, "Whoa, hold the fuck on. Wait a minute. I killed that guy, but I didn't do any of that shit to him." He goes, "I don't know who's on this fucking thing, but it ain't me. Like, let's talk, and I'll tell you everything that happened, but somebody else did that shit." Chris goes,
anytime I want to get somebody to admit to a lie now, I'm going to accuse them of whatever they did, and then that they had gay sex afterwards.
100%.
You got to think in North Carolina, that's just, you might as well.
This was like,
it's over for them.
This is like 20 years ago.
Yeah, even worse for that. Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, prison, you're going to be fine."
No, he probably did fuck that guy.
Maybe. Everybody gets one thing you don't come off of.
Yeah. He slipped that one past you guys.
Literally.
Yep. Hey, before we let go, we want to talk about the your new podcast. Trophy.
Oh, yes.
Cool. Can you kind of tell everybody what's going on?
So I got a new podcast. It's based out of Chicago. It's called Trophy Wives. I do it with two really, really funny comics. I was waiting to find the right guys to do a podcast with, and these two guys came to Chicago from Portland. Their names are Ben Levy and Noah Watson. I think they have some clips. If you like follow them on Instagram, you can
Yeah.
find them on my page. I posted a clip of our recent podcast. They're so funny, man. These are my two favorite comics in Chicago. We got a kid named Zach Santelli, who's also a comic, and a filmmaker. He's producing the show for us. He's also hilarious. And yeah, I don't know. It's just it's not there's no theme to it. It's just comedians hanging out, which I know there's like a million of those, but it's the only kind of podcast I know how to do.
It's the only
Uh,
one with you. You have everything you've ever done in the podcast world has always been one of our favorite things.
Yeah.
oh, thank
I
you,
mean,
man.
you are no less than fucking stellar.
Oh,
It's always great. And yeah, I mean, of course, there are those other podcasts, but a lot of people aren't doing that anymore either. They're
Yeah.
kind of taking it on this other thing to fit this algorithm or whatever. But like I think people want to hear like just people having fun, man. I think, and you guys are
Yeah, I
definitely doing
think
that.
the thing that always appealed to me about podcast, and it's why I'm kind of sad to see the move away from that, because like even like some of the podcasts I used to like, it's like now they're moving to like, oh, they're watching clips and they're commenting on them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's good for the algorithm, it's good to throw up on Instagram, but I just always have liked just like people like not even necessarily people being like super funny, just like getting deep in a conversation, and then we are comedians, so like we'll make it funny, but I just like hearing people chop it up and get into it. And so those are the shows I try to do.
I think so too. And I think when people are like listening or watching, and a lot of times they're doing it at work or during the day, and I think that's what they want to hear. Like trying to keep up with a clip show or something like that is hard to do. And I think you get to know the people a lot better. You get an attachment to the people you're listening to when they're just being themselves and having fun. And like I said, you're like the best at that anyway.
Oh my
All your
dude.
shows have been
Yeah,
so
dude.
good, man.
You guys
You-
are fucking
No,
gay, man.
seriously,
Don't
dude,
say
you
that.
draw people in. It is a gift.
Oh, that's very I am not good at taking compliments, but that is very, very
Yeah.
kind
Well,
of you to say.
Jason's trash podcast. You're doing
Hang on, let me call you on speakerphone so we can do a
yeah,
proper
no, fuck
we can
yeah,
do a
dude.
proper conference call.
We'll just do conference calls from now on.
I like it. Yeah,
Just
every Thursday.
every
I should really be I'll be stand, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone. I'm gonna stand.
Yes. Yeah.
Synergy.
The power move.
Synergy.
The
Yeah,
power
yeah, yeah.
move.
But
That
I
was
no,
wonderful.
yeah, I hope the thing we have been shooting. It's only an audio podcast right now, but we have videos of all the episodes. But we are gonna start doing video. We've just been like, the thing that you'll realize when we do put video up is in every episode there is a giant Great Dane named Quincy that is just like jumping. I mean, a huge dog. If you listen to the first episode, you'll hear Ben talk about how he got this dog. He drove cross country with Quincy, and about 12 snakes in his car from Portland, which is like, I think it's like a $10,000 fine per snake if you're like traveling illegally.
Jesus
It's
And
not
he
Christ.
did,
good.
he did, like,
It's definitely not good.
no, it's not good, but he did it. He fucking, and he just like white knuckled it across the country with a Great Dane and a dozen snakes. And now all those snakes live in his room, and Quincy just like, she's like the biggest thing in the house. But yeah, when we do, I think we're gonna do video this week. You'll just see like a giant Great Dane kind of like bouncing between all of us, which I really think is funny. I like the energy that it brings.
I love Great Danes, man. My one of our good friends had a Great Dane, and it's like they're the biggest
The
babies.
biggest
Actually,
goofball.
two of our another one of our
Yeah.
friends had one a while ago, and it was maybe the biggest dog I've ever seen.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he thought he was a tiny little
Yeah.
puppy, and he would sit in your lap and just crush you. But sweetest dog in the world.
Dude, they skitter, like you see why they made Scooby-Doo a Great Dane, because like they just skitter and scramble around like they're out of a
Yeah.
fucking cartoon, dude. They're
Yeah, if
ridiculous.
there's a tile floor, they'll even do the Scooby-Doo run.
Yeah, so good. And then whenever I smoke pot and try to solve mysteries with them, they're like,
And eat candy with them.
yeah, they'll eat the candy. It's always fun.
Oh yeah, you gotta get you have to shuffle a sandwich like a deck of cards, dude.
Yeah.
You think that's really a problem, Nick?
No,
Over on this end, I mean,
we
My
don't
girlfriend,
shuffle
and I
them.
watched. We were watching. I know. I'll let you guys. I don't want to keep the
No,
podcast
no, dude.
going, but we
Yeah,
we watched a bunch of Scooby Doo like over Halloween,
yeah.
and she was like, "Those fucking sandwiches look so good." She was like,
how do they tie them with the strings like that and not eat the strings?
"It's incredible." Like, And we watched you know what one we watched, not this year, but last year, we watched it's legitimately good. Like if you're an adult and you haven't seen Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, pull it up. It's
Dude,
it's
yeah.
it's literally a good film. Like it's well paced, the writing is good. There's a scene where they're like, dude, sometimes food in cartoons, I'm just like, fuck, man, I wish I could eat this cartoon food. There's a scene where they're eating crawdads in the Mystery Machine, and I'm so mad that I fucking can't taste those things, dude. They look so good.
Dude, yeah, I ever like even the sound effect when they're doing it on the show, it's like, but I always wondered, like you said, the string,
Mhm.
like Scooby-Doo when he shits, it has to look like sausages, like just with the string tied.
Yeah, it's
Dude, Scooby-Doo has definitely had multiple like exploratory surgeries, like getting
yeah.
shit out of his intestines.
Yeah, some of it looks like a ghetto jump rope.
Scooby-Doo has definitely had his anal glands expressed
For
multiple
sure.
times.
He
For
certainly
sure.
is.
Huh? I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to
Oh
put
my
him in
God.
a mystery machine.
Yeah.
I don't know what that meant.
Meanwhile, Velma's
I
back there
don't
eating
feel-
Daphne in the back. Fred's like, "What are you girls doing back there?" What a wonderful show that has all that going on.
Yeah.
The my favorite thing about that show is that it's like there are like that the Scooby-Doo, what people think of as like this the iconic Scooby-Doo dynamic was just like a template for like one of 30 Hanna-Barbera. There are literally like 30 other shows that are exactly like Scooby-Doo
Yep.
Yeah.
that have fucking Casey Kasem voicing like a shit. It was just always a different gimmick. So sometimes it's a talking dog, sometimes it's Jabberjaw,
Great
sometimes
bait.
it's the fucking dune buggy that with a face, or
Speed
the
buggy.
funky phantom. Yes.
What was
And there's
Dino Puff?
always a character who
Dynamite.
is Shaggy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every time. Every time.
Like, let's get out of here every time.
He was also fucking Robin in Super Friends.
Yes,
That doesn't make any sense.
it kind of does.
And
Burt
then
Ward.
I think like when they, because they would do, sorry, I'm a Scooby-Doo fucking dork, dude.
I'm
I
with you,
watched
brother.
all this shit. When they would do the Scooby-Doo movies, which I think was like a 70s series, um, they were hour-long episodes, and they would have like guest star, like Cass Elliot would come on.
Yep.
And it was fucked up
Globetrotters
because they would,
and-
all the jokes would be about how Cass Elliot was like a fat hog.
Yeah.
Like they would
Yeah.
all like,
Yeah, she
you know,
choked
like,
on one of those
Yeah,
giant sandwiches.
Take it easy, guys. You'll die.
Like,
it's like
not
it's always like Cass
breathing,
Elliot like
Scoob.
The
Cass
ghost
Elliot has
drops
like
an
wandered
axe on
off
her.
to like eat an entire meal, or she like breaks a chair. Then I'm doing a weave, as Trump would call it.
Yes.
The thing that's funny is that after a while they clearly like, I don't know if they ran out of guest stars, they didn't want to pay like whatever people were asking. The second season of Scooby-Doo movies, I think like Batman and Robin are like guests like
Yep.
every other episode.
Yeah.
And I think it's Casey Kasem, or is it, I don't know, or maybe it's
Yeah,
Bert.
no, it's Casey Kasem.
Is it Casey
Who is
Kasem
Batman?
It's Casey
talking
Kasem.
to himself?
It was the dude Alan what's his name, who was from the Super Friends.
Oh,
Look out, Robin, old friend.
Alan Oppenheimer.
No, it's not Alan Oppenheimer. It's a different dude. Alan Oppenheimer is Skeletor.
Oh, okay.
But dude, okay, tell me what's your take on 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo? You still good with that?
I gotta rewatch it because I will say some of the later Scooby-Doo stuff has not aged well, and I think 13 Ghosts is of that era because I sat my girlfriend down to watch. We watched so much good Scooby-Doo. I was like, well, you got to see Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers.
Yeah.
Where Shaggy inherits a southern plantation.
Yeah.
Because like Shaggy canonically comes from a family that owned slaves, which I think
Yeah.
is so cool.
Norville Rogers.
Norv, yeah, dude. But that movie's terrible. Like that movie is so, it is just like a bombardment of like of noise and sound. It's so shrill, and I really didn't like it. Like it should have stayed a memory. So I got to rewatch 13 Ghosts
Well,
because
they
that also has
reworked
Scrappy,
it.
right?
Yes, yeah. 13 Ghosts definitely has Scrappy.
I think anything with Scrappy in it probably isn't good.
No.
Yeah.
But you just have Vincent Price, which is like kind of evened it out for me. But the one set on the Shaggy's plantation, I'm pretty sure they made Fletch Lives out of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The second
Wait,
Fletch
dude,
was
I'm pretty
I
sure
haven't
that's a
seen it.
reworking of yeah.
Oh, now I want to watch that, dude.
because he
That's so
inherited
funny.
Yeah.
Yep. And Arlie Ermy was the
Yep.
televangelist.
And Cleavon Little was Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Boo Brothers one, man, that like it actually kind of made me die a little bit. Like we 30 minutes in, I was like, do you want to turn this off? Because it's a 96-minute movie or something like that. It's
You may
so
want
long.
you may want to hold off on 13 Ghosts then just for a little while.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I had a feeling that it wouldn't be the best one to return to. There's a bunch of new Scooby-Doo
Oh
that I
yeah,
like haven't that is
very
allegedly
nice.
good. But
Yeah.
I don't want to be one of those guys where it's like I start getting into like I'm like this adult who's like, actually, the new Scooby-Doo cartoon is it's really good. It's not really for
pretty
kids, you know.
solid. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, you're controlling your creepy. Like it hits me in waves. I can't do that. I ain't handsome, dude. I got nothing to go fall back on.
Yeah.
They're just like, you're creepy. I'm like, well, you don't know the half of it.
It only goes so far. When I was like younger, when I was like 23 and in better shape, I could like I couldn't control my autism. Like I was more autistic than I am now. But like you could sort of I remember like I had a girl one time um after I like spurged about like Metal Slug or some fucking video game franchise. She goes, this should be really dorky, but you're so passionate. And I was like, that's not good. Like that, like I shouldn't care more about this than like, you, which was true.
Buddy, because of you, now and forever, Telephone will always be my favorite Lady Gaga song.
Yes.
Oh my God. You guys
It-
remember that story?
I
Oh
will
my
never
God,
forget
man.
that story.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so bad. I remember I mean, the thing that was so bad is like, I'm sure. I mean, I never know. I'm like hesitant to like retell stories on my new podcast because like people do seem to remember them, but some of them I guess are like good enough to bring out. But like, man, I was so messed up, and like the thing that makes me cringe is like I was like brazen. I was like playing that Lady Gaga 45 like at the wrong speed, like calling my mom downstairs, like,
Yeah.
Mom, you gotta hear it's better like this.
Yes.
It's like-
That's one of the episodes of the show I can go back and listen to every once in a while. And it just makes me happy.
Yeah.
And another weird thing, and I swear we'll let you go, but you're talking about the Great Dane. Our buddy with the Great Dane was talking about going to the Ren Fair today with us. We saw him. We don't get to hang out with him a lot. And we're like, we got a buddy who worked at a Ren Fair and has great stories about it. So you have the circle has completed. We've come back tenfold.
I'm getting like it's funny. I get sometimes like I get this I don't know what you call it, but I'm like I get the feeling I'm like fuck art like I front loaded my late teens and 20s with so many great stories, and now my life is like relatively normal and boring, and I hope I don't get the urge to like start like putting myself in like absurd situations just so I can like have more story because I don't want to be that guy.
It's called
Yeah.
aging, buddy, and we all do it.
But here's the thing. I don't think you do that. If you're living your life, shit's gonna happen to you, and it's gonna be, and it may not be the frequency of the other things, but it's gonna probably be bigger.
I mean,
than the other stuff.
Think about it. You've shot a movie. You're working on podcasts. Like you're making stories now.
Sure, yeah, you're right.
Shit
And
is
these are more
happening.
like
Yeah.
you don't want to be the guy like you don't want to be the guy who has those stories when you're like 32.
No.
Like it's not cute,
Well,
But,
and you're alone then too. Like people
Yeah.
start dropping off from your life, and if you're that guy that keeps doing some of those things you're doing when you're 23, you're doing them by yourself at that
Right.
point. And
Definitely.
then it's just not as fun. It's not a good story anymore.
Yeah, and it starts to become a clinical diagnosis here and there about different things.
Yeah.
that's how you end up on the other side of the cell with
Yeah.
Jason, man.
Yeah.
You're just-
Yeah.
And then you're watching TV in your neighbor's glass window and Bluey's on
You're
and you're
knocking
watching
on
that
the door.
episode.
You're like,
Yeah.
hey man, can I come in? I noticed I saw that you also have Pluto TV, and I really
Yeah.
like the selection of classic films that they have. So I thought maybe we could connect on that.
Yeah.
I don't really want to
I
watch,
just really need somebody to talk to. You've been human right now.
I don't really want to watch Living Single right now. Could you
Yeah.
turn this? I've
And
seen all
then
these episodes.
before you know it, you're shacked up with a handsome guy, and you're stabbing him in the heart in a
Yeah.
haze of crack fueled rage.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And then, I not even a
Life.
gay man, and
She's
he's doing
beautiful.
anything. That lady, I wonder where she is, man. She's
I know
still-
exactly where she
Oh.
has time left.
She's right where he left her.
I dumped that bitch in one spot. She ain't moved yet.
I thought you were coming back. Oh, Nick,
my
you
God, dude.
were the best, man. And where can people they can find your podcast anywhere?
So the podcast is called Trophy
Trophy
Wives.
Wives.
Spelled how it sounds, those two words. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I think we're on all the apps. And right now, I mean, follow me on Instagram, and I think we're posting another clip tomorrow. It's a clip I'm excited to post. It's very funny.
And show comes out every Friday, right?
Every show comes out every Friday, usually in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, because I usually edit before I go to work. But if I don't, sorry, that's my neighbors upstairs throwing weights at the wall.
One of the 13 ghosts of Scooby-Doo is up there working out.
Dude, I don't even want to get into it. We're like at war with these people. It's a very interesting neighbor situation. But it comes out every Friday in the morning or the afternoon, depending on when I get to it. And it will be on YouTube probably like this week or next. But the
Awesome.
first 5 episodes are already available in audio.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Sweet. Well, we'll definitely post all that up, man. And
Oh man, thank you.
you got to come back. I mean, you always have an open invite.
Yeah,
on the
dude,
show,
I
man.
love talking to you guys. Like, let's next time, let's not take as long of a break because
Yeah, for
you
sure.
guys are a blast, man.
Yeah, definitely, and love to hang out with you again in person, man. We'll make that happen sometime
We
soon.
do need to make that happen. The next time I'm on the East Coast for comedy related stuff, like we'll figure out a way.
Yeah,
Dude, hit us
for
up.
sure.
Be happy to see you.
And
Happy.
also, if any of your listeners are in Chicago on December 9th, I will be at the Lincoln Lodge. And just look up my I'll be doing a showcase at the Lincoln Lodge. I've been hitting stand up harder than I've ever hit it, and I'm like back in love with it. So
Sweet.
Ooh,
yeah, if you're in Chicago
a,
listening, come out.
That's an inspiring thing to hear right there.
Yes, because you were
You're
super
a
funny,
funny,
dude.
funny motherfucker.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. You guys have to stop calling me.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what to
Please
do with them, but
stop.
I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Great talking to you. We'll talk to you soon.
We love
all right?
you.
Hell yeah. I love you
Jason's
guys
Odd
too,
Trash
man.
Podcast. We love you.
All right, we'll circle back and talk about it next time.
We'll
All right.
circle back.
Yeah.
Later,
Bye,
buddy.
bro.
Peace, guys.
Bye.